The reason I got Scarlet right away was for predator patrol. Scarlet is also a rescue. She came from a kill pen and by a wonderful woman who pays their bail and rehomes them. She's very sweet but very shy. So this little bantam chicken here is blind and just really has a hard time out in the quack shack with so much activity and so many birds, trying to navigate food and water and without sight, and also going out is difficult, finding her way back in. It just became too difficult. For what it's worth, probably more seasoned farmers would have culled her, but it's just not something I'm able to do. So what I did instead was get a new flock. So we have 3 olive eggers and 3 Austerlops, and they're going to have their little coop down in the barn next to the tack room, and they'll free range and eat in the manure down there. Woohoo! This little girl is in here because yesterday my Finley, my shepherd mix, jumped over the fence and then came in looking awfully guilty. So I'm guessing she's feeling much better after the dog mauled her yesterday. I really did not know if she'd overcome the shock. Honestly, as upset as she is right now, that's normal chicken behavior, and I'll take it. She'll probably be ready to go back out, maybe tomorrow. I'll check the wounds in a little bit. So yesterday, when I tried to check her wounds, she threw the biggest hissy fit, ran all over, and I managed to look at the wounds, and they were improved quite a bit. She's bright-eyed. She's trusting being in my hand. Everything looks good on the flip side here. So yeah, nervous breakdown. Poop on my brand new countertops. I was able to spray these wounds, and they were so red the other day, and they're just mostly a pale pink with red bits, but they're all closed up and scabbed over. I think when I turned her over, the blood rushing to her head made her really stiff, but it's better than screaming her head off. And it's looking like pretty good. So I've got her upside down, mostly because it's just immobilizing her from completely freaking out and acting like a psycho case and hurting herself more. Oh good, perfect. Her little bantam buddies are right here even. All right, you, let's see how you respond. Are you ready to go back? I think we've got a successful healing couple of days. I was a little worried because she wasn't moving at all. So I thought maybe she was so traumatized that she wouldn't make it, which can happen. So this is really good news today also. Yay! She and her little flock. So I just noticed something. Call me crazy, but since that little black one strayed away the other day and ended up getting picked up by a dog. And seeing this rooster be super guiding of where they go. He's not letting them wander off like he was prior to this incident. I call him Redford. I think it's a great name for this dude. They are of the Bantam variety. Bantams are miniatures. So even his little cock-a-doodle-doo is so miniature. He's got a little bit higher pitched voice, and I really don't hear it unless I'm pretty close to here. But it's adorable nonetheless. What I like about Bantam roosters is they're not mean to their humans. That's kind of a caveat with me. I don't want to feed anything that treats me like shit. Fair enough, right? This little one I call Puppy because she follows me around like a little puppy. She lets me give her scratches too. Come here. Give me scratches and then shake it off. There's Georgia. And the little black one that was put back with him is doing just fine with her original clan. Look at him all puffed up and on guard. I love that. I'm surprised they're even out today. They typically really hate wind. These are the little bantams. Wait till you see their eggs. You won't believe how cute and small they are. They're unbelievable. I love this little family. A lot of people love duck eggs, especially people who bake. I actually made a Jewish challah, which is, if you're not Jewish and aren't familiar, it's similar to a brioche. It's kind of an egg bread. I made it with duck eggs, and I did it in the bread maker, and it was outstanding. So if you want to try something really nifty, make yourself a brioche / challah with a bread maker recipe. Throw a duck egg in there. You won't be disappointed. Pippi's always been a wanderer. Sometimes she will disappear for long periods, but guess what? She's always back in her nest by dark. Not the most sociable chicken I've ever met, but she's very cute and lays little white eggs. I think it's time we have the egg conversation, actually. So let's. I currently have 4 types of eggs available. Sometimes when I have an abundance of eggs, I try to find a feeding project or even just a local food insecure family to give eggs to. Everybody loves eggs. Geese will be more seasonal. The duck season is longer, but still seasonal. Chickens and bantams will go most of the year and slow down around December when the days get shorter. Something really cool to know about eggs is that if you don't wash them, the hen leaves a sealant, if you will, around the eggs, and they will stay fresh much longer than if you wash them. It's the best way to taste an egg for freshness is to make hard-boiled eggs, and the ones that float are probably not ones you're gonna wanna eat. They're not the freshest. Why that is as they start to turn, they give off a gas inside, which in turn makes a bubble and causes flotation. Egg crisis. People are bringing them over the border from Mexico. So like all of that's going on with inflation and all of that stuff. And I swear to God, you guys, I'm so not this person I'm about to be, except that it's true. If it weren't true, I wouldn't be this person. I'm not into conspiracy. Lord knows I don't want to think, things are funky behind the scenes, but this is just plain weird. When I first got here, I learned about our local co-op, and a lot of people, emphatically urged me to go there. And I went and I found that the chicken feed that they make with a special laying formula that's for all flock, it's not specified for one particular type of bird, not only was made right here on the premise, but was about $10 per bag less in cost. So naturally, I want to support local. I love that he has in the freezer all kinds of steak and meat from local farmers and poultry producers from around this county. Great, that's kind of one of the greatest features about this area. All of your food is treated within restrictions, chemical-free restrictions, because we live in the river valley that supplies New York City with water. So we want to keep it clean. Anyway, I digress. I bring the food home. It's like early December. I've never seen so many eggs. I mean, truly. So we're cruising along, and I was amazed because, first of all, geese don't even lay in December, and they're laying, and the ducks are laying more than usual, and chickens that usually take basically the month off in December are pooping them out right and left. And I'm going right along going, wow, they must really like it here. And I had a credit to use at a corporate establishment that sells farming and ranching supplies. And I bought a bunch of bags of a particular corporate brand that most people are familiar with. All of a sudden, their egg laying tapers off and stops completely. So all the eggs I just showed you are from 2 months ago up until, from we have used them, but yeah, let me try to be accurate here. What I just showed you, the most recent one was like a month ago when I had to make the switch. And then the other day I brought home the 5 new hens, and they laid for the first couple days, and now they've stopped laying. And again, I don't want to be that person, but it's awfully fishy that the year that there's this egg crisis, and the reason for the egg crisis is the avian flu. And now all of a sudden you can't really raise your own backyard chickens because all the corporate produced food is causing the reverse effect and the chickens stop laying. It's strange. It really is. I'm not making this up. I asked some other friends who have chickens if they've had the same experience, and seems to be pretty universal. But thankfully, I have our local farmers co-op because I need them laying. So for those of you who are not chicken owners or food producers of any kind, let me tell you, it's so important to support small farming because the corporatized farming is getting worse and worse and worse. Man, I used to hate all these kind of conspiracy theories. It's certainly not where I want to focus my energy. I'm not interested in going down any rabbit holes. I just want to do my thing. And yet, all of a sudden, I can't ignore the fact that in the middle of an egg crisis, when people are smuggling eggs over the border because they're so expensive here, the amateur backyard chicken feed that you can just buy at any corporate farming store is stopping production. And I can tell you it's 2 different brands that are the same mother company. want to be that person who doesn't like trust companies or, has to look at what the bigger picture is and question everything. But you know what? I guess we kind of should. There's just no denying. I have birds that aren't laying eggs. For well over a month, I haven't had any new eggs. So back to the corporate store I go. Hopefully they'll take these 50-pound bags back, and done. Eggs back in business. The whole idea of a monopoly on eggs is disgusting. We've come so far away from being in control of our food, making food choices. I mean, now you can't even make the choice to raise your own chickens however you want to, because basically, unless you have a farm co-op in your neighborhood or some other food source, this is what's going on. Food for thought.